So we'll look at application development and administration. We'll look at database and the web interfaces to database, and we have server-side database communication, chain of communication using Perl 5 and DBI module to communicate with database, DBI module, DBI API, getting the pieces, running CGI, data administrator role and function, accessing database through web, performance tuning. So this is all about web. So most of the time we have information stored on web. This technology is then extended into something called the cloud computing. So URL must provide an entry. You can do this through web browser. Now you have the server side data communication with CGI, and the chain of communication which is client server database model. The database sits on some central computer, perhaps Netscape Navigator or Internet Explorer. So web browser, web server, database, web browser, web server, CGI script and database. Web browser and web server behave on HTTP protocol. CGI script uses SQL. This is a common gateway between web server and CGI script. However, purpose of demonstration, we use the CGI script is Perl 5. An example of DBI where Perl 5 CGI script will access MS Access database on Windows 95. Of course, Perl 5 means that we are using on Windows NT. So that's how things are linked up. This is the DBI module. The DBI module is an inclusive tool to abstract learning how to communicate with every type of database. So we have this web browser, web server. If you understand that this is hypertext transport protocol, the internet thing. We have CGI script interacting with the database servers, proprietary interface, that's database and database driver, and CGI scripts, web server gateway interfaces, and the code we write here. The code we write here is the CGI script. The Oracle driver. What is DBI API? Well, with Perl 5 you use the use keyword, use DBI, sub handle, connect, my company. So that's how we'll handle things on the Perl side. So usage and description, connect, usage, available drive, data source, trace, need, prepare, getting the pieces, installing Perl. So Perl is available on perl.com. It's an open source, you can always install it. And if you observe that installing a web server somber. Now I have tried to install another web server, I guess it's XAMPP. So I am using XAMPP control panel. Again it creates that database Perl and the database connection. So database administrator is one who oversees data integrity database. Users who are assigned to return have unrestricted access to all business data. Signing member data does not guarantee explicit permission. For security reasons, performed by data should be carefully observed. Using data administrator control program. On data administrator role page, select the scope of the work, click add or remove database, click remove. Accessing database through web, creating web-based database application. And we have the script there. Relatively an easy chapter, things are general. Then we have performance tuning. So on the server timing, disk, RAM, CPU, parameter, metadata, row packing, concurrency, table allocation, caching, and rewrite SQL profile. So SQL profile, instant object timing, instant load timing, and server tuning. Server tuning, workload tuning, instant object tuning. Server and network tuning, this is the first step. Instance tuning, this is Oracle SDA, the Oracle initialization. Object tuning is the first set of performance tuning, look at Oracle tables. SQL tuning involves remove unnecessary large table, cache small table, verify optimal index storage, materialize your aggregation. So this unit is about the database for web, the server side database communication, CGI chains of communication, Perl 5, DBI module to communicate with databases, DBI module and API. and getting the pieces, running Sage application, single location, area network along with JDBC. I think I used this somewhere. Let me just check this. I think I used the JDBC driver somewhere, which I want to check again. Okay, DBI module is useful because it always need to learn how to communicate. Consider a plan, it will use CJSK property database info. Uniform resource locator kind of communication. So that would be it for this chapter.